what are we trying to achieve here tonight?
Them on the record and point out that these are your citizens here. These are the workers that do your work, and they cannot even live on this.
They're going along with keeping it at $7.25.
So the Ankeny City Council wants to keep the minimum wage at $7.25.
And because
in Ankeny.
They made an official statement saying that it's a priority that the state do this.
But they're talking about opting out of the Polk County.
Yeah.
Being exempt from that wage.
Right.
they actually have to pass an ordinance keeping the minimum wage at $7.25.
Johnson County is at $10.10. Their last increase was on January. Lynn County went up to $8.25 on January 1. Wapello went up to $8.25 on January 1. And then Polk County was set to go into the first increase up to $8.75, so $1.50 on April 1, so in 10 days or so. And so, of course, then the preemption bill popped up at the legislature to say that, nope, we're going to say counties actually can't. You cannot raise the wage on your own. Cities can't do it either. And, you know, on top of that, you can't make a bunch of decisions at the local level on a host of employment things. This bill did not come from them, clearly, right? It came from some, probably Alec, that was looking at what was happening across the country and wanted to beat all of our local cities, counties to the punch on anything really that would help workers. Not only can counties not increase the minimum wage, all the counties that have, it's null and void. Communities that maybe would have been interested in opting out, right, and lowering the wage in their community, like Ankeny, we thought maybe West Des Moines would be interested in that, that they were gonna not. So they were gonna be like, ooh, the legislature's gonna take care of this for us, and we don't have to look bad. We don't have to take a stance on this issue. They'll just take care of it and we're good. And so we're seeing like Pleasant Hill, Bondurant, and Ankeny now getting concerned that that won't happen, that bill won't pass before April 1, when Polk County's first raise would go into effect. So that is why, it's a long version of why now we're here at the end of March, right, with 10 days to go till folks are gonna get a $1.50 raise, and city councils like Ankeny are looking to lower the wage. Technically what they have to do is pass an ordinance to lower the wage back down to $7.25. So it's a separate ordinance. They have to actually vote in favor of a lower wage. So we're up against a unanimous vote, but I think it's really important that they hear from folks. They actually need a living wage in every community in Iowa, including in Ankeny. People can't make ends meet. They have to turn to safety net programs to afford basic needs. So essentially taxpayers, right, subsidizing corporations who will not pay their folks what they need to make ends meet. The county has a uniform minimum wage now. By opting out of this, you will actually be creating the patchwork that would, that will keep Ankeny residents poorer and folks who work here poorer.
Got quite a few people signed up here on one item in particular.
We serve over 1,000 unique Ankeny residents every year. Last year, we provided over 34,000 meals to these families. 80% make less than 100% of the poverty level, which is for a family of four, $24,000 a year. Whether you realize it or not, Ankeny has a long reputation for being a wealthier suburb, a suburb that has a high amount of income. Actually, it does have a very high median income, and the ability to take care of its citizens and our property very well. I am hopeful that our city will take this discussion of minimum wage extremely seriously, and you will see it as an opportunity to step out in front of other communities instead of stepping behind the State House and where it sits right now. When we don't hold business owners to paying an appropriate wage, we all pay for those families. If all business owners paid an appropriate wage, Impact Community Action would not need to exist. Our families would be able to take care of themselves, and that's what we really want.
If Ankeny withdraws from this, it's just going to look like a mean-spirited action directed at some of our less fortunate residents to do the right thing and to move us forward, not backward.
I can think of a Taco John near where I live, where this old Hispanic man works, and I see him there all the time. We're walking there. He has to walk there. So we need to think about who we're developing this community for, including that gentleman who deserves better than $7.25 an hour. And it's really a moral question.
almost half of our Story County residents don't make enough in their income to sustain their households. If we can look to the south from Story County to Ankeny and see a shining star down here because you did the right thing. You took care of your people. They're your people. They're the same as you. And if you can do that, and you can be this shining star, you can sleep at night.
It's so vital that this council demonstrate concern and support for the most financially oppressed workers right here in our own community.
I would implore you not to mess with people's incomes to make a point that you believe that the state should deal with it. We all agree, right? But this is a real issue that affects people's lives. So I would ask you to not play politics with that and instead do nothing, vote no on the ordinance that would lower the minimum wage here in Ankeny.
According to the Iowa Policy Project, a married couple with 2 wage earners and 2 children working full-time need to earn $17 an hour to cover basic needs in Iowa. As a teacher, I know the consequences of not meeting a child's basic needs are dire. And it is a moral imperative that Iowa moves to a living wage of no less than $15 an hour.
I'm a graduate of the Des Moines Area Community College, Ankeny campus. I also work on campus. I'm a manager at the bookstore there. My employees that work under me would receive a raise on the 1st of April. I know multiple employees that work for me that have to work 3 or 4 jobs just to make their rent, provide for their children.
When I left the development that I live in down there just a little bit ago, I saw a box about that big and colorful, so children would be attracted to it. And in that box, there are all kinds of foods in there that should children come by and they need food, they can take out what they want. Constantly, almost every day, there's a whole new set of food being put in there and being taken out. This is Ankeny. I think about if I were a parent and my child would be coming home, taking food out of that box, how would I feel? And as a parent, I certainly would feel very embarrassed that I would have to do that for my child. Right across the street from me, they are building luxury apartments. I look at those 2 things every day, the box and the luxury apartments. I moved here right before 2000 because it was a beautiful community, it was up and coming, it was moving, it was exciting. And when I think that, gosh, you can't give $7.25 an hour? I think though it is maybe a matter of justice and money and equality. $7.25 an hour, that means $14,000 a year. $14,000. And who of us could survive on that? So we want a 26, 27-year-old or a single parent with a child or 2 to live on that. What are we doing?